7, Amadou Myers. Number 9, Bryce Holiday. Number 10, Nigel Nielsen. Number 5, Alvaro Capro. Number 13, Steven Ayadel. Number 17, Rodrigo Oliveira. Number 19, Jean-Marc Pemba. Number 20, Lucas Trimble. Number 22, Jorge Lopez. And the keeper for Sioux Falls, number 1, Luka Shumanuki. And now the starting lineup for your Med City FC Mayhem. Number 4, Nicholas Idapoulos. Number 6, Ignacio Mia. Number 14, Jack Hilton Jones. Number 11, Tristan Jumeau. Number 12, Francisco Neto. Number 10, Juvan Esteban Ramirez Garcia. Number 20, Nicholas Raisler. Number 8, Alan Shimry Wismeyer. Number 7, Tiernan Patrick Talbot. Number 5, Andrew Wilkinson. And in net for the man, number 30, Salvador Plaza. Med City's FC's head coach is Neil Cassidy, assistant coaches are Mitch Amundsen, Israel Perez, Fabian Betcherel, and Tim Jennings. The officials for tonight's game are Chris Ruska, Christopher Ollinger, Noah Brenny, and Katie Carlson. And now for the singing of our national anthem. Tonight, Cassandra Grace will be performing. Cassandra will be performing with her band The New Morning at King Creek Brewery on July 12th at 7 p.m. Please rise and take it away, Cassandra.
Oh, sing, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, see us that star-spangled banner yet wave, for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Thank you, Cassandra. And a special thanks to players from Byron Youth Soccer Association and Minnesota Rush for serving as ball kids and field escorts for the players tonight. We're giving all area youth clubs the chance to have players and teams participate as field escorts and ball kids this season. For more info, contact Med City FC. And now, let's play soccer! Good evening, everybody joining on the live stream for a rainy night here in Rochester as Med City puts their unbeaten record on the line hosting Sioux Falls tonight. Med City FC welcomes this conference opponent, Sioux Falls, who is 1-6 on the season. The Mayhem's last conference game was last Saturday as they faced LC Aris FC in La Crosse, Wisconsin. Med City FC used 2 late goals to secure a 3-1 victory and remain undefeated. As I mentioned, the Thunder, a 1-6 record. They have the fewest goals in this North Conference division of the Midwest region. Only 6 goals scored on the season. Now, for reference, Francisco Neto does lead the Midwest region in goals with 7, but he has more than the entire Sioux Falls squad combined. So Med City certainly looking for 3 points tonight. On a rainy evening, it was actually a beautiful day for most of today here in Rochester until about 4:30. The skies got dark. The rain came down in sheets, but it's down to a sprinkle now, and we have a few select fans still in attendance, ready for some soccer action tonight. We were planning on having a tailgate party sponsored by the Post Bulletin this evening, but instead that will be delayed to the Sunday match on June 30th. So this is the second meeting this season between these two teams. On May 18th, the Mayhem traveled to Sioux Falls and got goals from Francisco Neto and Nicholas Raisler for a 2-0 win. We are underway, and if you joined us right away, you know that American Ninja Warrior star Rue Yori is at the game tonight. He'll be hanging out with the fans and talking with us at halftime as well. And every goal scored tonight, there will be $100 donated from Rochester Toyota. And I want to make sure I get this right. This is to the Wallace the Pitbull Foundation. Something Rue Yori in American Ninja Warrior is very passionate about. Tonight, Med City in the home whites. And they have it in Sioux Falls territory right now, about 45 seconds into the match here. Shot on goal and handled cleanly by the keeper, Luca Shimanuki, for Sioux Falls. I did walk on the playing surface on my way up to the booth tonight, and quite honestly, these rubber pellets, they soak up the water pretty good, so it should not have too big of an impact on these players. Of course, that's easy for me to say walking casually as opposed to running and cutting and chasing. Near side, it's Tristan Jumeau. It's tapped out of bounds, so it'll be sent back into play here by Sioux Falls 90 seconds into the match.
Megawatt Video Game Party is Rochester's most exciting mobile birthday party and event expert. Our video game parties come right to you with the best games and consoles for up to 28 players at once. With full climate control and our own quiet generator, this party goes just about anywhere, anytime. For more information, visit our website at megawattgametrailer.com or call 507-320-3777. You can try them out for yourself tonight just north of the bleachers.
Just under 3 minutes gone here in the first half between Med City and Sioux Falls. I mentioned a little bit about the standings earlier, and it is a 3-horse race at this point in the North Conference of the Midwest region. Duluth is 5-0-2, as is Med City. Right now, Duluth has the edge in goal differential, 18-4 in the season, as opposed to Med City, who's 17-6. And then Minneapolis City right there in the mix as well. They are 5-1-1 on the season. Their goal differential very close to Med City's. It's 18-6. So those 3 teams have clearly separated themselves from the other 4 within this division. So one of those nights that Med City needs to take care of business and pick up all 3 points against Sioux Falls here tonight. Of course, next Saturday is the big showdown for Med City with Duluth. They faced off once already this year and challenged each other to a 1-1 tie. That was the same case also when Med City faced Minneapolis City on June 5th. And so those 2 ties on Med City's record coming from the 2 teams that are going to give them the biggest challenge throughout the season for a playoff spot. Top 2 teams in this conference will make the regional tournament. As Med City heads down to the other end of the field, can't quite chase that one down. And I apologize if I don't call out a lot of numbers tonight, as it's pretty tough to see up here through the rain. We'll do our best. I've got my crew here. Feeling for Frank Moline, who has to do stats and try and squint and see those numbers, but sure you saw the stat earlier. We weren't delayed by rain, which is good. We want to preserve this stat for Med City. Every rain delay they have ever had in franchise history, they have won those matches by a combined 11-0. Of course, that was only one match, so that was also an average margin of victory for the Mayhem. Maybe it was good luck. Maybe we could have another 11-goal victory here tonight, had this one been delayed a little bit as Francisco Neto tries to chase that one down. Neto having a fantastic season, as I mentioned, already 7 goals in 7 matches, and was named the NPSL Player of the Week for the entire nation a couple weeks ago. And so Neto receiving national notice, and nice write-up in him, by the way, in the Post Bulletin. It was either earlier today or yesterday. I'm not sure. I read it online, but Neto doing good things here for Med City in their 3rd season of existence. It's his 2nd on the squad, as Nicholas Raisler has it near side. Pushes forward to Jumeau, who sends it just a little too far. It stays in play. Sioux Falls defense has a chance to get back in place. The aptly named Thunder. We're hoping we don't hear any thunder or see any lightning here tonight, and we're able to play this one out. As Tiernan Talbot gets taken down. No penalty. And with 6 minutes gone. Oh, penalty against us. Looked like Talbot was the one who got taken down, but see, this is why I need Frank to my right. Keep me on task here. So at any rate, Med City gets it right back. It'll be Talbot near side, sending it in as we approach the 7-minute mark.
Since 2013, Rose's Cleaning Services has been offering top-level professional residential cleaning services at prices that won't break the bank. Schedule your free in-home consultation and get 15% off your monthly plan when you mention Med City FC. Visit rosescleaningservices.com or call 507-358-8604 and let Rose's team of experienced and attentive staff care for your home so you can get back to the things that matter most. Family, friends, leisure, all the things that make life great. Reliable, on-time, skilled, affordable services. That's Rose's guarantee.
Med City with another push here as Neto has it in the corner. Backs it out to Jumeau. Jumeau looking and cut off by a Sioux Falls defender. Jack Hilton Jones trying to keep the threat alive, but it's Sioux Falls coming away with it for the moment. Chased down by Andrew Wilkinson, and Med City will reset. So far, Med City leading in time of possession here the first 8 minutes. Shouldn't be surprising, especially with that Sioux Falls inability to get on the scoreboard this season. They have been outscored 6-14 in their 7 matches. So averaging less than a goal a game.
Every sponsor is vital to the success of Med City FC. I'd like to recognize our 2019 player level sponsors for their support. Presco Orthodontics, World League Coffee Company, Fellowship of Christian Athletes, Rose's Cleaning Services, and the Rochester Post Bulletin.
9 minutes gone here in the first half, and a free kick from a far right side here for Tristan Jumeau. So an interesting number of options for the Sioux Falls defense to get set. Jumeau sending it in, and a bicycle kick attempt by Ignacio Mia goes wide right. So Luka Shimanuki, hope I'm saying that correctly.
Sounds close.
We thank you for joining us on the live stream tonight. If you were planning to come to the game and decided to stay where it's dry, we certainly won't judge you because everybody in this booth is in a booth and under a roof. So we're staying dry here as well, as that pass a little too far out in front of Jumeau. And at the 10-minute mark, Sioux Falls will take over possession.
Get social with Med City FC at the game. Share what's happening tonight with your family and friends on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or Snapchat. And don't forget the hashtag Med City FC in 90 minutes of mayhem. Seriously, get your phone out right now and connect with us on social media. Everybody needs to know that we are here toughing it out in the rain.
Jumeau with it up top. And Med City having to reset off of that corner kick. Sent forward by Jack Hilton Jones. And again, a very conservative approach thus far by Sioux Falls. They failed to score in the opening match against Med City this season. As I mentioned at the get-go here, Med City won that match 2-0. That was back on May 18th out in Sioux Falls. And we have a player down. I don't think we're going to see a card. He's up, and a free kick upcoming here for Med City. Can you see who's sending it in? Is that Neto who sent it in? Or? Well, that threat, as we try to figure out who sent that in, we think it was Neto. It's usually him. Got by the massive bodies, but was deflected away by Sioux Falls, so still no score. 12 minutes in here in the first half between Med City and Sioux Falls. Spent the bulk of their time with the ball so far, and I suppose if you're Sioux Falls looking to pull off the upset or play spoiler and beat one of these three teams at the top of the North Conference, night like tonight might be when they can get it done. As things are slippery, maybe you force a turnover, get an odd man rush. But so far they haven't gambled one bit. Here they are with it as Hilton Jones providing some good defense, and now here come the mayhem. That's out of bounds, last touched by Sioux Falls.
Fire Brick Bread Wood-Fired Pizza is a proud sponsor of Med City FC. Get our delicious pizza at the Rochester, Zumbrota, and Lake City Farmers Markets this summer. Looking for something different for your next party? We cater private events and we'll bring our oven on a trailer right to your house. Look for our full-page ad in the game day program or go to firebrickbread.com for more information. Fire Brick Bread Wood-Fired Pizza.
Corner kick and a goal for Med City at the 14-minute mark, and they take a 1-0 lead over Sioux Falls.
to you by $5 Pizza, and every time the Mayhem score on a corner kick this season, 10 lucky winners will receive a free pizza. Hopefully you sign up for your chance to win as you enter the stadium.
Did everybody just get a pizza?
Scoring for your Med City Mayhem, number 5 defenseman Andrew Wilkinson. Assisted by Francisco Neto.
So as we get caught up over here, it's just about 16 minutes gone here in the first half. It's 1-0 Med City. That was a corner kick by Francisco Neto, sent in by Andrew Wilkinson, and a nice play there too by Salvador Plaza. Corner kick there by Sioux Falls, and was plinkoing around a little bit, and Plaza just ends the threat by diving on the ball. So a 1-0 lead for Med City.
What was the time on that?
Start they needed at the 14-minute mark is when Wilkinson punched that in.
Actually, make it say goal 14. So you can do 2 goals.
As Plaza lets his fellas get upfield. And Med City will start another threat.
U.S. Bank works hard to support their customers in their community. Their Police Champion Athletic programs that enrich quality of life for everyone. You can count on U.S. Bank to serve you and to cheer on the spirit of teamwork from the start of the game to the final whistle. U.S. Bank is helping businesses grow, families thrive, and communities succeed here in Rochester and all across the country.
And do all lowercase actually.
Plaza sends it forward here as Med City has a 1-0 lead over Sioux Falls. The Thunder yet to have much of a scoring threat other than that corner kick a couple moments ago. And even that, I wouldn't say anyone got a real good shot attempt off, as we have a whistle here on the far side. Looked like Alan Shembry-Wismeyer got tangled up with a player for Sioux Falls, so they'll have a free kick from long distance here. At least Med City's wearing white jerseys, and we can see their numbers somewhat. Very difficult to see any numbers for Sioux Falls. But we'll do our best. And that one headed in. What a shot. That was Bryce Holiday for Sioux Falls with the header, getting it over all the bodies for Med City. And just like that, we are tied up at 1 apiece.
Scoring for Sioux Falls, number 9, Bryce Holiday.
Just want one thing to be clear.
Just save it.
So a tough break there for the Mayhem as a team that struggles to score goals gets on the board. That was Bryce Holiday, number 9. He's a tall player. You can kind of see him standing at midfield. does stand out in that goal, or that free kick, rather. Was just high enough for him to redirect. Got over the defense, and really Plaza made a nice play on it, but just didn't have a chance. It was a perfectly headed ball. And so Sioux Falls earning that one to tie this one up at 1 apiece. Just about 20 minutes gone here in the first half.
Eat healthy on the go. Quick Trip makes it easy with fresh daily salads and sandwiches, healthy yogurts and cheeses, flavorful fruit cups, and an assortment of fresh fruits and vegetables. Fresh is the best, and Quick Trip is making it fresh for you.
So Met City with it on the far side, trying to get past that Sioux Falls defense. And looking through the Sioux Falls schedule here, they were just shut out by Duluth last Saturday. That was their last match. But that was a 1-0 game, and as I said, they've only given up 14 goals on the season, so they're not getting blown out of most of these games. That said, scoring has been an issue. I mentioned only 6 goals on the season. They got 4 of them in their lone win against LC Aris. And so in their other 6 matches, they've only scored 2 goals. As that shot goes wide left off the foot of Francisco Neto.
Minnesota 97.5 is a proud sponsor of Med City FC. Be sure to listen to Rise and Shine with Minnesota 97.5 featuring Luke Kastler and Molly Page. Weekdays from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. And catch Minnesota's greatest hits all day, every day on Minnesota 97.5.
Sioux Falls with it now in Med City territory. Over on the far side as that one goes up into the bleachers. And our Parka ball kid on the far side, able to send it in. We're supposed to have some youth players from Byron here tonight, as Jumeau makes a nice play on Holiday to take it away. And here come the Mayhem. A little bit of momentum here. And now they turn it over. That was Estevan Garcia, number 10 from Med City. I haven't mentioned his name just yet. Walking it in, and now Med City with it again. Shembry Wismeyer, far side, has that one kicked out of bounds. And it'll be a corner kick here from Med City. Francisco Neto sending it in.
Here comes another Med City corner kick brought to you by $5 Pizza.
This time Neto goes short, gets it right back. Top of the key, that one deflected. And everybody begging for a handball. We can see that up here, and we can hardly see tonight. The fans in attendance here tonight are passionate ones, by the way, so we can hear them yelling as well. Hard to believe they missed that one. But Med City will have a free kick now. About 24 minutes gone here in the first half. That one sent out of the stadium almost. A little too strong, and Sioux Falls will take over.
The Sawbones Army was founded in March of 2017 as a group of local individuals who are passionate about supporting Med City FC and continuing to grow our love of the beautiful game in Rochester. The purpose of the group is to create a rooting section for the club, complete with drumming, flags, scarves, chanting, and cheering. Check out the Sawbones Army on Facebook at Med City FC Supporters Group and join the mayhem.
And just like that, another goal by Sioux Falls. And that was on a turnover. Boy. That was scored by number 20, Lucas Trimble, who just got free behind the defense and then put on a perfect strike over the top of the head of Salvador Plaza. And Med City looking a little shell-shocked here. As they trail 2-1 to one of the worst teams in the conference.
Goal for Sioux Falls, number 20, Lucas Trimble.
Well, Sioux Falls has to feel on fire right now. As I mentioned, they scored 4 goals in their lone win against LC Aris, and otherwise have only scored 2 goals in their other 6 matches. They have 2 goals in just over 25 minutes here in this match against one of the better teams in the Midwest Region's North Conference. So Med City needing to shake this off. I mentioned they need 3 points, as Minneapolis City and Duluth have stuck right with the Mayhem, who have a very impressive 5-0-2 record on the season. Their only ties coming to Minneapolis City and Duluth. So they definitely can't afford a loss tonight with those tight standings. As this one comes in, and now Neto forcing one in. Jumeau heading it back, and Lucas Shumanuki getting a little too careless back there in front of the net. Perhaps not used to playing with a lead like this. Andrew Wilkinson sending it across midfield. Has it cut off by Nigel Nielsen of Sioux Falls. And you can see the body language has completely changed for both of these teams. You know, Med City got that first goal and leads to a little bit of a here we go again on both sides. One, when a team has been as dominant as Med City has, and then for Sioux Falls, who's really struggled this season. But 2 quick goals has changed everything. Right now, Sioux Falls looking a lot more energetic. If you get up on a bad team like this quickly, start to see that body language change, especially in the rain. They don't want to be here. But right now, it's the Thunder with a 2-1 lead, looking to pull off a big upset in the NPSL. 28.5 minutes gone here in the first half as Wilkinson keeps that one in possession of Med City.
Carpet Booth Studios is Rochester's premier recording and production studio for any of your music and audio needs. High-quality gear, treated spaces, trained engineers, and a warm atmosphere allow for any project to reach its full potential. Visit www.carpetbooth.com today for more information station and to book a session.
That shot attempt by the Mayhem goes wide right. And they've certainly had it in Sioux Falls territory on plenty of occasions here this evening. But to recap, they scored off a corner kick from Francisco Neto. It was Andrew Wilkinson knocking it in. That was at the 14-minute mark. Then Bryce Holiday scored off of a free kick for Sioux Falls. He headed that one in. It was a beautiful goal. And 7 minutes later, it was Lucas Trimble scoring on a breakaway. Now Med City looking to even things up as we cross 30 minutes here in the first half. Jumeau sends it back. Tiernan Talbot, near side, back to Jumeau. Jumeau out to Hilton Jones. He'll reverse course. Tapped by Shemry Wismeyer. Now lofted ahead. Talbot tries with the head. Stays in. Nice little circular kick there. Like a Chuck Norris roundhouse, but just a bit high. However, it was last touched by Sioux Falls, so a corner kick coming up for Med City.
Here comes another Med City corner kick brought to you by $5 Pizza.
Neto sends in a laser that's quickly deflected out of bounds, and so Med City will maintain possession. Jumeau will try to send that one in quickly. There's Garcia dribbling in. Jumeau getting pushed around, backs it out. Now lofted in once more and caught out of midair by Lucas Shimanuki. Shimanuki punts that one all the way to midfield. And a collision with no whistle. And chasing it down, nice play there by Nicholas Raisler. Tries to feed it up ahead to Jumeau, but a nice defensive play there by Jorge Lopez of Sioux Falls. That one's knocked out of bounds. But at least the Sioux Falls defense has time to reset here. Med City tries to work quickly. Talbot sending it towards the middle. Now gets the feed. Against three defenders getting knocked around again. Amadou Myers gave him a shove, but no whistle. It's booted out of bounds, so Med City will maintain possession. Sioux Falls looking a bit gassed here. And the Mayhem looking to take advantage as Jumeau, near side, gets ridden out of bounds. And no whistle again. They're letting him play tonight. Almost 33 minutes gone. Perhaps the thought is the field is nice and soft from all the rain, and so, I don't know, maybe falling to the ground isn't as big of a deal.
Is a financial services organization that helps Christians be wise with money and live generously. For more than a century, we've helped our more than 2 million member owners make wise money choices that reflect their values, and we provide opportunities for them to be even more generous where they live, work, and worship. Call me, Nick Johnson, the voice of the Mayhem, at 507-226-5275 for a free consultation.
Well, Med City has certainly been threatening here lately, the last 5 minutes or so, as Sioux Falls has been scrambling defensively. However, they're the ones with the 2-1 lead at this point. As the Mayhem try to work it in, and Sioux Falls not afraid to be physical. The rain continues to fall here in Rochester. All our fans in attendance have been wise and showed up with umbrellas or parkas. "34 and a half minutes gone here in the first half. Be sure to stick around at halftime. Our special guest, Rue Yori, will be here at halftime for an interview. I was pleased to see him at the gate when I first arrived here earlier. And again, every goal Med City scores tonight, Rochester Toyota is donating $100 to his Wallace the Pitbull Foundation. So a generous offer there by Rochester Toyota. As Med City brings it up on the far side, Alan Shemry Wismeyer sends it forward. Tristan Jumeau, he's been busy on that right side, but unable to chase that one down. Out of bounds, possession goes to Sioux Falls.
Soccer World is a proud sponsor of Med City FC, offering youth and adult leagues, classes for kids of all ages, and space rental for birthday parties or other special occasions. Soccer World offers the ideal place for indoor soccer in Rochester. Check out their website at www.soccerworldmn.com or call them at 507-424-3018.
Andrew Wilkinson with it on the near side. Med City trails 2-1, 36 and a half minutes gone. I wouldn't anticipate a whole lot of stoppage time here at the end of this first half. Despite the physical play, we haven't had any long-term injuries. As Jumeau backs it out to Raisler. Nice pass up ahead for Talbot, but a little too strong. And again, those passes can be tough on this wet surface. Much like when you're putting in a wet surface, it doesn't move with quite as much energy, so you got to give it a little more. And sometimes it doesn't slow down quite as much as you think it might. As Raisler, nice move, gets to midfield. Backs it over to Garcia on the far side. He's dribbling in, stops, passes forward to back to Shemry Wismeyer. And it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Sioux Falls. They're certainly not afraid to just send it out of bounds and live to reset. As it's Neto on the far side sending one in, looking for a header. Talbot. Sorry, now Talbot has it. Had it as Raisler on the near side. Has it tipped away. And not a corner kick at all, actually, as Jumeau gives back to Talbot. They'll try again on that near side. Nice pass up ahead, and defenseman gets in the way. Shimanaki. Here comes a left-footed shot by Hilton Jones, too strong. That one goes across the street. He had plenty on it, just a little too high. And Med City still trails 2-1 here late in the first half.
Toyota and the all-new Toyota RAV4 are new RAV4 has been redesigned for more power, more capability, and more fun. Visit Toyota.com or stop by Rochester Toyota to see the all-new Toyota RAV4 for yourself. Toyota, let's go places.
Francisco Neto charging in there a moment ago. And now it's Tristan Jumeau trying to get him reset. But Sioux Falls has been able to get in front of a lot of those charges by Med City. A little different feel to this match than what we expected, especially with Med City scoring the first goal at the 14-minute mark. Sioux Falls, a team that struggles offensively, has 2 goals for only the second time this season. This would send a few shockwaves around the NPSL, at least in the North Conference, if the Thunder were able to pull off this upset here tonight. That one gets sent in. Jumeau is in the area. Now Raisler backs it out. Neto in the area. And the defense again too strong for Sioux Falls. Coming in is Alvaro Capra. And Sioux Falls tries to get a possession going here. And time of possession heavily favors Med City, but scoreboard shows Sioux Falls on top at this point. That one passed in. Plaza able to corral it. Sends it in for Jumeau on the near side. And now Talbot. Nice pass up ahead, looking for Raisler. Had some good backspin on it. But I think that might be one where the moisture on the field killed the pass. And Shimanuki able to corral it. 41.5 minutes gone. Again, stick around for halftime. We're going to talk to Rue Yori, an American Ninja Warrior. Med City with it on the far side as we cross 42 minutes here in the first half. I think another handball was missed there as Shimanuki toys with the ball a bit. Gets Talbot to charge it. And Sioux Falls. Another threat here is Jean-Marc Pemba. Has to chase that one down. Good defense there by Andrew Wilkinson. And Amadou Myers will send it in for Sioux Falls. They're taking their time a little bit here now. They'd be happy to go into the locker room with a 2-1 lead at half. They may just try to keep it over on this side as Neto has other ideas. Kept alive by Jorge Lopez. Lopez gives to Nigel Nielsen. Ball drifts over to that far right corner. Esteban Garcia sends it ahead. Now on the near side, it's Rodrigo Oliveira. Talbot gets thrown down. Nice pass by Oliveira, but Wilkinson there to deflect. And now Neto picks it up, but unable to push the pace. So we cross 44 minutes here in the first half. Neto, a little give and go there with Garcia. That goes out of bounds. Sioux Falls with it again. We'll let you know how much stoppage time as soon as we know. Can't imagine there will be more than a minute or two. Talbot with it near side. Some nifty dribbling, and that one's just knocked out of bounds by Rodrigo Oliveira. Sioux Falls has shown up here tonight, and no stoppage time, not even a minute. That's the refs want to towel off too. So at the midway point of this match, it's a surprise. Sioux Falls with 2, Med City with 1. Again, stick around for halftime. We have a special guest, Rue Yori, American Ninja Warrior, going to join us here in the booth for a few minutes for a conversation. You're watching Med City FC Mayhem.
It's getting pretty nasty here, actually.
Fans, thanks again for coming out tonight.
We are still planning on having the tailgate party sponsored by the Rochester Post Bulletin. That will be on our June 30th match. And we'll also do our American Ninja Warrior halftime activities at that June 30th match as well. Rue Yori, the American Ninja Warrior himself, has agreed to come back on June 30th for those games. So no halftime entertainment tonight because of the weather. So stay dry and enjoy the second half. All right. Rue, how are you? Nick Johnson. Nick, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. I might need to get a picture with you after this. My kids are pretty stoked that I got to meet the American Ninja Warrior tonight.
Ooh, yeah. Passionate on the weather, but
Although they didn't quite understand, they're like, "That course is in Rochester?"
well, no, not quite.
That would be nice.
Yeah, it would be nice. I wish we had a course in Memphis.
I live in Stewartville. One of the local churches is making a Ninja Warrior course like in the basement.
Oh, sweet.
So just for like kids and some adults that can do it too.
Cool.
Chris, are we gonna try to point a camera this way, or are we
I
just
am,
doing
yeah. I'm
audio?
just going to make a little lower third real quick.
Okay,
Just with both you guys' names.
sounds good.
Alright, let's see if I can find that though.
Yeah, have a seat. This is our microphone here, so it's tightly wrapped. There we go. There we go. So, any questions I'm gonna ask you about the Wallace Pitbull Foundation? Talk a little bit about that. Talk about the experiences, of course, too, doing the American Ninja Warrior stuff, because you did how many competitions?
Keith?
This is my fourth
That was
season.
amazing.
Okay, and you're gonna do it again this year.
Yeah, so it's already filmed.
Okay.
First episode aired last week
Oh, okay.
on NBC, and I
Awesome.
hit my buzzer and moving on to the city finals. That'll air later this summer.
All right.
Can I have you spell your name for me real quick just to make sure I got it right?
ROO is Rue, and then YORI.
Awesome. Just export this file and then I should be pretty well set.
Okay. Sure. So you do have another competition then coming up.
Yeah, so
Where's that gonna be?
So it's all filmed at the same time actually.
Oh, really?
In Atlanta, so I competed in Atlanta this year.
Okay.
And then
But you can share that you advance.
Yep.
But
Yeah.
you don't have to pretend like, oh, that's coming up, and I'm
Right. So like, make it through
okay.
all 6 obstacles.
And you've been in all
Buzzer.
4 seasons. There's been 4
I
of them, or
no, this is season 11. So my
so
first
this
season.
is your 4th.
This is my 4th season.
I was gonna say after I got you.
Yeah. Yeah, my first season was season 8.
Okay.
Hit a buzzer in season 8. Haven't hit one since, and finally got another one.
Okay.
This year. So it's getting
Well, congrats.
yeah. Needed to happen too long. It's tough because it's one and done. You know, get one shot.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
No kills, no do-overs, no skydivers, no nothing.
Yeah. And the mental toughness with that too.
Yes. Yeah. Doing all the lights and cameras and TV show aspect of it.
Almost there. This computer's
Okay.
been slow. Sorry, guys. Real slow.
You been to many Med City matches?
No, this is my first one.
What a night.
Yeah, no, right? Big night to start it off. You gotta get some more goals, bro.
This is a little surprising.
Yeah, it looked like they're dominating for the most part that I've seen, but
Yeah.
nothing going back to that. How are the match up?
So, we got my
I'm really waiting for it to find out what
standings here.
files
So
are in
Med
this
City's 5
folder
and
so that I
2.
can click the image and
2
apply it.
ties. They haven't lost yet this year. Sioux Falls is 1 and 6.
This is ridiculous.
And they've only scored 6 goals all season. Coming in, so yeah.
Checking it out.
So the better team is not on right now.
Right. Rain is great equalizer.
It can be, yeah. Well, the bigger deal for this level is the top 2 teams make the playoffs. There's 3 teams that are in Med City tournament. They're all separated by a point only. So everybody, we need to beat that. You're a competitor, you get it.
Yeah, absolutely. I played soccer up to college too.
Oh, really? Where'd you play?
St. Mary's.
Okay.
Arizona.
Yeah.
So,
Sure.
played in massive for a long time after that. Been a while.
Wasn't so Neil Cassidy, wasn't he a coach at St. Mary's?
He is now.
He is now.
Yep.
Okay. But he coached the women?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because Corbin is the guys coach.
Okay.
Not as, yeah. No, it's not.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. That's the coach. So
Sorry, guys. It's taking a lot longer than I thought it was going to be.
no problem. We got 8 minutes. So I don't know if we would want to back out to audio if we need to. Then if we have any people who do impressions, like we could pretend Morgan Freeman's here one night, or Ever since a young age, I've enjoyed a fine soccer game. And you work here in town, right?
Yep. I'm gonna have to.
Live here, also obviously.
Yeah, just down the street actually.
Oh, okay.
Just off 50th Avenue over there.
Gotcha. All right, well, welcome to our halftime show here tonight. Kind of a special treat for us here at Med City. I'm joined by Rue Yori, an American Ninja Warrior. Actually, in the middle of competition, his first episode aired, and so we could talk a little bit about that. Rue, walk us through that experience the other night.
Yeah, it was pretty sweet. I mean, these things are filmed in advance, and so you never quite know what they're going to edit it. But, fortunately, knew going into that I hit the buzzer. They did a whole dog episode. It was with the Secret Life of Pets co-promotion, and so it really fit in with my theme, and that's kind of why they had me down there competing in Atlanta. And it was just great. It's always a good time. You never know what they're going to throw at you, though, and you only get one shot, so you're always hoping that the one shot you get is you make it worth it. Unfortunately, I finally hit my second buzzer this year. It's been a while, been a few years, so it needed to happen.
Sure. Well, congratulations on that. And you're here for a very special cause tonight, the Wallace the Pitbull Foundation, correct?
Yeah.
Tell me a little more about that.
Yeah, so my dog Wallace the Pitbull, he was a world champion Frisbee dog, passed away. But, kind of utilizing the Ninja Warrior platform to continue to raise awareness and raise money for the dogs sitting in shelters all across the country, because unfortunately there's millions of them out there. Still in the position that Wallace once was, trying to get them happy endings as well. It's going great so far. I really appreciate the support of Med City here helping us out, getting some cash to help those dogs out, and continuing the fundraiser that I'm doing through Ninja Warrior.
And we need a few more goals, as Rochester Toyota is donating $100 for every goal scored by Med City tonight. But speaking of the Med City, Rue is one of many Mayo Clinic employees around here, so unlike most professional athletes, you don't get a chance to just train full-time when you're competing.
No, I don't, unfortunately. It'd be nice, maybe one of these days. But, I have to pay the bills still. Ninja Warrior, doesn't kind of cost money to do that. We have to pay our own way down to the qualifiers and whatnot. But it's fun. It's a great time. It's a good experience, and provides opportunities outside. But, yeah, I work at the Mayo Clinic, lab supervisor there, and then fit in training when I can, trying to keep up with the younger new generation of ninjas that are coming on board, and the obstacles continue to get harder and more challenging, so hopefully I can keep up.
And how does that impact your training? We're watching soccer players out here tonight who know how to train to become great soccer players, but American Ninja Warrior, you said it, you have no idea what they're going to throw at you, so how do you train for something like that?
Yeah, you get creative, I'll say that. It's like you said, you don't know what they're going to throw at you. A lot of pull-ups, rock climbing, anything you're hanging or swinging, try and get different grips, because there's certain things that'll generalize, so you just try and get good at those skills, and hope that they'll generalize to whatever they throw at you on the course. But just get creative, think of what maybe can throw at you, and then do what you can to prepare yourself for that.
Well, I'm a little frightened to shake your hand because I know it's a strong grip, but I appreciate you joining us tonight here in the booth. Rue Yori, support the Wallace the Pitbull Foundation. Do they have a website or anything like that if people are so inclined to join the cause?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's wallacethepitbullfoundation.org, and then you can find me online, rueyori.com. That'll point you either way, and we got links to let you know what's going on.
All right. Thanks again, Rue, for joining us. We've got a couple minutes before half number 2 starts. Be sure to stick with us. You're watching Med City Mayhem. Well, back to the action here from the Rochester Regional Sports Stadium. We are starting the second half here with a bit of a surprising result. It's Med City trailing 2-1 to Sioux Falls, who is the number 6 team out of 7 in the North Conference standings of the Midwest region. Hopefully the Rue Yori interview is a good luck charm that Med City needs. As I said, another $100 will be donated for each Med City goal here tonight, thanks to Rochester Toyota. Med City needing to go to work. They'll be going from right to left now on your screen. A little recap of that first half for Med City. They actually started with a 1-0 lead, a goal at the 14-minute mark by Andrew Wilkinson. And it looked like Med City was going to keep things on script tonight, but then Sioux Falls scored just 4 minutes later, a header by Bryce Holliday, and a Butte went in and tied the score, and then Lucas Trimble got behind the defense on a breakaway and did not miss his opportunity, giving Sioux Falls a 2-1 lead, which they hold now. So it's Med City in the home whites with the Rochester Toyota logo on the chest. Facing a little adversity here in the rain and the tough weather. So here come the Mayhem once more as they try to set up their first offensive attack of the second half. You wonder here for Sioux Falls, takes a little different feel when they have struggled to score this season, but they have 2 goals for only the second time all season. I've mentioned they have 6 goals on the season, but 4 of them came in their lone victory against LC Aris. And so they have to be feeling good about themselves right now, like they have a golden opportunity, especially against one of the top 3 teams in the standings. It's a big separation between the top 3 and the bottom 4 in this division. And so Med City can't afford, especially not to get a single point tonight. A tie wouldn't necessarily be ideal, but it would not be nearly as crippling as a loss, particularly when you look at Duluth and their goal differential. It's 18-4 on the season. They're at 17 points, just like Med City. But Minneapolis City nipping at Med City's heels with 16 points. And also, of course, the Mayhem want to protect their home turf and reward these fans who came out tonight after the heavy rains. Still sprinkling and drizzling a bit. Easy for me to say in a booth, of course, but we had a flash flood warning at about 5:30 earlier today, so that field is definitely wet. As that one goes out of bounds, last touch by Sioux Falls. Jack Hilton-Jones quickly sends it in. Ignacio Mia puts it up to head to Alan Shembry-Wismeyer. Corner.
Another corner kick brought to you by $5 Pizza.
So Francisco Neto sends it in. That was a great pass. And Nicholas Idopoulos was charging in. Another shot gets blocked. That was Neto being blocked by Alvaro Capra. So now Neto will have to inbound from far away, and he didn't complete the throwing action is what Frank Molina is telling me. I couldn't quite see. Our views are a little obstructed up here in the booth. We don't quite have the U.S. Bank Stadium all-glass look here. And also we've got some condensation on our windows as well. So it is for sure a team effort here tonight, and I'm sure you can hear all of us conversing to try and figure things out here. But it's Med City who needs to figure out how to get another goal. 5 minutes gone here in this second half, and Sioux Falls trying to protect a lead and get only their second victory of this season. Nigel Nielsen will put it in play here for Sioux Falls.
You want your new startup to hit the ground running with a multi-million-dollar look. You need help visualizing your next great idea? Use Digital Creative Services is the answer. Specializing in creative brand design, Fuse listens and works with you to set your company apart from the competition. Websites, print ads, brand systems, and huge wild ideas. That's Fuse, a proud sponsor of Med City Football Club.
Ignacio Mia sends that one forward, looking for Estevan Garcia, who gets whistled. He's getting in the business a little bit there on Bryce, or no, rather, that was Bigger Mama, not Bigger Mama, Bigirmana is how his name is spelled. Bigirmana Omari. I knew that was going to trip me up. At least we got through the starting lineups a little cleaner than that. Med City at midfield. Again, I mentioned the playing surface. Of course, we're using artificial turf here at the Rochester Regional Stadium. Does a pretty good job of absorbing this moisture, but you can see the black rubber pellets shining through a little bit, and so obviously it does have an impact on the trajectory of the ball. And it is going to be replaced, I'm hearing, in July, which will cause Med City to move to Mayo Field. As you hear me echo Frank Moline. He's got the insider info. That's why we got him up here. It's not just a scorekeeper and a stat guy. Also a host family and a tutor to your play-by-play guy. As we... oh, and he drives the shuttle bus. Learning more every night. 53 minutes gone in this match. As Med City walks it forward. Could use a spark here. They're a little flat coming out of the locker room. And a takedown on that far side. No card, but a free kick upcoming. And I like this pace by Med City. They want to work quickly. And they set up the free kick. I think that's Garcia. Nope, can't be. Here's Garcia on the near side. Can't see who sent that in with the left foot, but it's headed in. That was Jack Hilton Jones getting the header and being told by the official not to go in there and pull the ball back out, but that's exactly what he did. So Jack Hilton Jones with the header. And you see Med City runs it right up to midfield. They want to get this going as quickly as possible. The 54-minute mark. It's Jack Hilton Jones tying things up.
Scoring for the Med City man, number 14, Jack Hilton Jones.
Well, I said they needed a spark. That's a heck of a spark. Tying things up at 2 apiece. And the mayhem aren't done here as Neto gets it, gives way to Garcia. That's the number one takeaway that I have from after that goal is Med City didn't waste any time celebrating. In fact, Hilton Jones scared the refs a little bit because he went in to dig that ball out of the net immediately so they could go to midfield and start the party over again. Gave the ball to Neto just to show he wasn't trying to showboat. And Med City sprinted back to midfield as Ignacio Mia, a little slow to get up here on the near side. He is sporting a new do. The completely clean on the sides, a little longer on top. I'm 33 years old. I'd like to try that, but I'm already on borrowed time with my genetics and my hairline, so especially with the man bun, that I know I have no chance, but well, when you're young, that's the best time to monkey with your hair. When you're a financial advisor, you get a lot more questions. I tried to grow a mustache for 2 weeks and got a lot of negative feedback from my clients, and so that was the end of that. So here we are, 56 and a half minutes through this match. We're tied up at 2 apiece. Nice pass up ahead, Nicholas Raisler. And I think that was Esteban Garcia who had the chance and pounds his fist in the artificial turf. He knows he missed a nice opportunity there as Raisler gave him an absolute dime. But just a bit wide for Garcia. Good energy, though, here. Now in the last 5 minutes for Med City, like I said, they came out a little bit flat those first 5 minutes or so. And then ultimately just decided, okay, we got to pick up the pace. Not going to go quietly into the night. And here's another nice push up ahead, looking for Jumeau. And it's Luka Shimanuki coming up to get that one.
Ready to start your adventure? Then visit Toyota.com or Rochester Toyota for all the dirt-loving, adrenaline-boosting, thrill-seeking companion Toyota trucks and SUVs. Whether the Toyota Tacoma, Toyota Tundra, Toyota 4Runner, or Toyota RAV, Toyota has a vehicle to help start any adventure. Toyota, let's go places.
Sioux Falls threatening here is Lucas Trimble with it on the near side. Good defense, though, by Ignacio Mia. Sent in by Omari. Tapped around. Pemba can't get a good head on it. And it's cleared by Wilkinson. Neto by himself on the other side, and now a whistle away from the action. And it's regarding Iggy Mia. He is shaken up once more. Made a nice defensive play just seconds ago, and now seems slow to get off the field. See if he takes a quick break or if Med City brings in a substitution. And Mia's going to stay out there. So he trots onto the field at the 59-minute mark. That first half, we had no stoppage time despite 3 goals. Pretty rare to see, so everyone's sick of being wet, I suppose, as Garcia dribbles that one in. This pass out on the far side. Pass deflected away. That was Raisler looking towards the middle. But good defense once again by Sioux Falls. They have shown up tonight. Scores 2-2, but it's not really a fluky 2-2. Both of those goals by Sioux Falls were well-executed plays. Could argue the Trimble goal was off of a Med City mistake, but give credit to Sioux Falls for taking advantage. And again, that free kick header by Bryce Holiday was a thing of beauty. It was perfectly redirected into the net, and Plaza had no chance. And so, a team that struggles to score, their 2 goals have been very impressive here this evening. But on the flip side for Med City, nice job on their part of battling back and tying this match. They've got about 30 minutes to try and take the lead and continue this impressive streak and build their record to 6-0-2. Hopefully cross the 20-point plateau in the conference as well. But a long way to go as Mia deflects that one out of bounds. And Omari will send it in for Sioux Falls.
Orthodontic Health Center on North Broadway has been practicing for more than 25 years, offering braces and Invisalign for both adults and children. Orthodontic Health Center offers free orthodontic consultations to assess your orthodontic needs. Dr. John Lawson has been a part of the soccer community for 25 years, and he's proud to be a sponsor for Med City FC. Call them at 507-282-6447 and schedule a free consultation today.
So Iggy Mia, battling some injuries, comes in on the near side to inbound. Passing up ahead, and another tackle. That one Omari against Garcia. Will lead to a free kick. And Jumeau's going to send this one in. Nice bend on that one. Headed away. And Sioux Falls. Jumeau picks it up. Passing ahead, looking in the corner, and nobody there. So a goalie kick up coming here for Sioux Falls. 63 minutes gone here in this match.
Quick Trip stores selling top-tier gasoline. Top-tier gasoline contains a higher level of cleaning detergent which improves engine performance. Using top-tier gasoline ensures a higher standard of gasoline for your car. Cleans your engine while you drive, helping your car run smoother, longer. Another fresh idea from Quick Trip.
So we're going to see a couple of substitutions here. Luis Sartor coming in for Sioux Falls. Getting ready, and I think he's coming in for Amadou Myers, number 7. Substitution for Sioux Falls, number 4, Luis Sartor. Meanwhile, Jack Hilton-Jones has the game-tying goal so far as Garcia gets taken down, and Ignacio Mia goes to the middle. I thought for a moment there he was going to have a conversation with the officials. And I don't know how many basketball fans we have watching, but it was reminiscent of Draymond Green having to walk away from the officials to make sure not to get himself in trouble. And we have a yellow card coming up here for Sioux Falls. I think that's on Bigirimana Omari. But more importantly, Francisco Neto getting ready for a free kick from a pretty fortunate spot here for Med City. Neto getting ready to line it up here. Bends one in, tries to score on his own, just a little too high. It was played well by Shimanuki as Med City gets ready for their first substitution.
Substitution for Med City, number 29, Abel Rivercuros. Earlier, the yellow card issued to number 5 for Sioux Falls, Bigomana Omari.
So Neto can't find the net for his 8th goal of the season on that free kick attempt, although, boy, it was close. He has a powerful leg, and like he was telling the Post Bulletin, dreams of playing professional soccer at a higher level moving forward. Currently playing in NAIA competition out in West Virginia, but originally from Brazil, whose soccer pedigree speaks for itself. I think that was a shot attempt by Rodrigo Oliveira. Went wide left. We'll blame that one on the playing surface, perhaps. As Med City takes over possession, 67 minutes gone here in the match.
Global Sports Experience Network will be offering its 2019 destination Barcelona Youth Soccer Camp from August 5th through the 9th. Join former Barcelona FC and Spanish La Liga professional players and camp coaches for specialized instruction the Barcelona way. For more information about the camp and to learn how to participate, be sure to visit www.gspanusa.com. The first 40 players to register will be entered into a drawing with a Barcelona jersey signed by Lionel Messi.
So now here comes Sioux Falls, unable to track down that loose ball. But again, you can't help but be impressed by their demeanor here tonight. This is a 1-6 club. Not waiting to see one of the other 3 teams towards the bottom of the standings to get their second win. Instead, showing up here tonight. As Francisco Neto tees one up. Nice deke. Maybe waited a little too long. Now he's free again. The left-footed shot gets tipped away and picked up by Shimanuki. So Francisco Neto very aggressive here the last couple possessions. That one knocked out of bounds, and it looks like Med City's getting ready for another substitution here. Emmanuel Lopez getting ready to come in.
Substitution for Med City, number 19, Emmanuel Lopez.
Itapolos backs it out here for Med City. Again, a heavy time of possession advantage here tonight, but 20 minutes away from playing to a surprising tie unless they can find the net again here. Raisler backs that one out to Itapolos. Bloodworth, Finlay Bloodworth in the match. Noticed him a couple minutes ago. He wasn't a starter, but he did substitute. We didn't see when he came in, but we're guessing that was around halftime. as Wilkinson chases that one down. And Sioux Falls has an injured player on the field. Can't see his number. But the official's checking on him right now and waving in the trainer. So we will take a quick break here. Just over 70 minutes gone here in this match.
Fans, be sure not to rush off after the game. Hang around to meet the team. Med City FC players will be signing autographs after the game, so be sure to get your programs or gear signed. The post-game autograph session is sponsored by Quick Trip, $5 Pizza, and Primrose School of Rochester.
Injured player for Sioux Falls was number 12, Alvaro Capra. He is back up and running. So now we should see some stoppage time. That took about a minute to unfold. Again, an absolute rarity in that first half. We had no stoppage time. Despite 3 goals being scored, usually you get a minute for at least that. Figure 10 to 15 seconds per goal to get reset. And that second goal by Sioux Falls was celebrated for a little while, and understandably so. Pass up ahead. And for Abel Gabriel-Quiros. Gabriel-Quiros and Lopez, a couple of the subs. And City's depth, one of their stronger assets. And kind of a silly foul there by Nicholas Raisler, pulling on the jersey of Alvaro Capra. Well, another bit of stoppage here as Sioux Falls gets set. They send it in and go deep right away on the near side. Finlay Bloodworth in the area. That went out of bounds and a late whistle. They were a good 2 yards out of bounds and kept going after it. So Sioux Falls also going to the bench here late. As Shembry Wismeyer tries to set that one up ahead for Neto. That pass is blocked. Back the other way comes Sioux Falls. Good defense on the far side by Wilkinson, and eventually they are going to blow the whistle for that. He was riding the offensive player a little too long there. Don't believe they're going to give him a card for that, but will be a free kick here for Sioux Falls. Well, I talk about Med City trying to come away with 3 points, but obviously that's still in play here for Sioux Falls and a good chance for them here. That one sent in with the left foot, cleared away by Itapoulos. And a whistle for another stoppage here. There's contact in the box. Wasn't sure if someone got a hand on it before Itapoulos cleared it away. But regardless, it's Med City possession. The 76-minute mark of this match. Lopez unable to handle that one. Goes out of bounds and a mistake there by the Mayhem.
Mayo Clinic Sports Medicine experts help athletes to optimize performance, minimize risk, and recover from injuries. Mayo Clinic Sports Medicine is proud to be the official medical and performance provider of Med City FC. Meet your goals by visiting sportsmedicine.mayoclinic.org.
Far side, it's Abel Gabriel-Quiros, someone whose speed stands out, even on a field full of speedy guys. See if they can get him free. And it'll be interesting, too, to see what the Sioux Falls strategy is here late. I'm sure they would be pleased to come away with 1 point tonight. They only have 3 on the season, and that one win against LC Aris. They have yet to play to a tie in any of their matches yet this year. And I'm sure had you told them before they got on the bus and drove through the storms that they did to get here, they could get a point tonight, I'm guessing they would take it. But it's Finlay Bloodworth, a nice centering pass. Tipped away. Right idea there by Bloodworth, but there's too much traffic. So Hilton Jones will inbound. And now Bryce Holiday ran into Itapoulos there, a little collision. And no ill will there. We've seen a little bit of chippiness here tonight, but Holiday motion to Itapoulos that he knew it was unintentional. And now here comes Med City. It's Gabriel-Quiros near side, left-footed pass just out in front of Neto. And Neto is furious. He thought for sure that was last touched by Sioux Falls, which would lead to a corner. Matter he's saying he was interfered with. He's looking for a penalty kick. Sure he'd take that too, but he's not going to get either thing. As Sioux Falls sends it back towards midfield. Oh, Gabriel-Quiros flew about 3 yards in the air there as he was cut off on the attack. He's up and jogging it off, but I don't care who you are. You take a spill like that, it's going to take you a second. Another substitution coming up here as Jordan Lennon gets ready to check in for Med City.
Substitution for Med City, number 9, Jordan Lennon.
Gabriel-Quiros towards the middle, puts a shot on, and that one picked up by Lukas Shimanuki. Good job, though, by Gabriel-Quiros just to keep him honest, as he hadn't seen a shot in a little while. Kind of softly rolled in, but Gabriel-Quiros working against a couple defenders. Sometimes you take that and hope that the keeper's looking for a pass, especially at the 80-minute mark, as Bloodworth gets taken down, and we hear a little more shouting on the Med City sideline. Gebrekiros keeps that one in play, gives way to Shembri Wismeyer. Now gets it right back on the near side. Shembri Wismeyer with it again. Looking for a seam. Basically traded places there with Gebrekiros, and Sioux Falls takes it away. Wilkinson dribbling it in now. He had the first goal of the night for Mad City. Nice moves. Getting it in. Nice pass up ahead and just wide. The shot by Neto. He buries his face in his hands, as that was a heck of a pass. But maybe just a smidge out in front of Neto. Able to get a foot on it, but not really direct it much. And another chance for Med City goes awry, and we're still tied at 2 apiece. The 81-minute mark. Playing and discovering new games makes lively children and active adults. At Primrose, our balanced learning approach sparks these light bulb moments, helping children enjoy a healthy life. Primrose School of Rochester is proud to be a sponsor of Med City Football Club. For more information about educational childcare, please visit www.primroserochester.com. Time running out on Med City to get those precious 3 points here. 82 minutes gone. I'm guessing at this point we've got 2 minutes of stoppage time would be my hunch. But again, we had 0 in the first half. So we'll see if the officials limit that again. Med City's had some opportunities here in this second half. And again, they've dominated in time of possession throughout this match. Also, they got to be careful. Obviously, they don't want to allow Sioux Falls to get their second win of the season right here. Ida Polos with it. Sends it towards the middle. Gets it back from Shembri Wismeyer and now plays it ahead onto the far side. Looking again on that far side, and just too many bodies in the way here for Sioux Falls. Hilton Jones with it now at midfield. Looking ahead for Lennon. That one's taken away. Nice play by Nigel Nielsen. Hilton Jones again at midfield. Looking for some space to work. Sioux Falls definitely on the defensive right now. Maybe if they can get numbers, they'll push a little bit, but you got to believe they would be happy to come out of here with a tie here tonight. Nice pass up ahead. Gebrekiros makes a deke, makes another one. Defenders closing in on him, sends it to the far side. Sent ahead, looking for Neto. Cleared away for the moment by Sioux Falls, but Bloodworth makes a play on it. And now Med City's got to get back. It's a 3-on-2 rush here for Sioux Falls. Pass up ahead to a wide open Rafael Antislaski, and he's offside. Just got a little too excited. Saw him stutter step as he knew the pass was coming his way. Tough to be patient in those situations, but got to do it. And so that mistake costing them as Gabrikiros comes in. Nice defensive play there by Shemanuki. Mentioned Gabrikiros, he can fly. He chased that one down. And now deflected out of bounds. Last touch by Sioux Falls. Med City can send it in quickly again. 85 minutes gone here in this match. Bloodworth tries to bend one in. Off the chest of Neto. Lennon trying to keep it in the zone. Has it here. Gives way to Shembri Wismeyer. Gabrikiros again, that left corner. Sends one up high. Deflected out for a moment, headed around, and Lennon just sends that one left. Oh my goodness. Great play by Med City just to keep it in front of the net and keep it alive as it looked like it was going to float out of bounds. And Lennon had a chance at it, but sent it wide left. As we have another substitution here for Sioux Falls. Here late in this match, 86 and a half minutes gone. Neto coming in, left-footed pass gets deflected away. And Lennon again coming in, trying to head one. And Shimanuki on the ground, asking for time. Didn't look like Lennon really caught him all that much, but maybe the ground bit did more damage there as Shimanuki caught the ball and then turned his body and fell hard to the ground. He's up, shakes it off. Up ahead, Gabrikiros can't keep it in. Tick, tick, tick. Gabrikiros. Passes now to Hilton Jones. That one passed ahead. Plaza plays it. Head onto the far side. Can't really see those numbers from here. We'll do our best. Going in is Lopez. And they call a handball. That came off a deflection. And now Sioux Falls quick to work. Hilton Jones chasing it down. Lopez plays it back to Itapoulos. 90 seconds left before stoppage time. Gabrikiros looking for space, gives way to Shembri Wismeyer. Nice pass up ahead. Now Lopez, lots of room, decides to take the strike and didn't hit it cleanly. Took the left-footed attempt, saw that no one was closing in on him. Or maybe thought about it a little too long. So Med City time for maybe one or two more attacks here. Shembri Wismeyer. And you know it's going to be Med City on the attack. Up ahead, not kept in by Lopez. I thought he got there in time, but misplayed it again. Far side, nice box out there. Allowing it to go out of bounds. Last touch by Med City as we reach the 90-minute mark. I'll let you know how much stoppage time there will be. I would guess about 2 minutes. Med City knows they're not going to get a ton of time here, so they try to inbound quickly. And must have been an illegal touch on the far side. They're stepping in the line or something. Couldn't really see it from here. Again, we're dealing with the rain and the condensation, and tough enough to see on the far side of the field. But anyway, Med City has it again. They want to go quick. Bloodworth tries to pass it ahead. Has it deflected away. And some frustration starting to show here for Med City. There's a yellow card issued to Tristan Jumeau.
Yellow card issued to number 11 for Med City, Tristan Jumeau.
Plaza able to step in front of that one. That could have been dangerous. That long distance attempt, and now kept in play by Sioux Falls. And this might be Med City's last chance here. Hilton Jones with it near midfield. Deflected away. Try to send it towards Neto in the middle. Med City did exert a lot of energy here the last 10 minutes, trying to get on the board, and had a couple shot attempts go wide, and you wonder just how much they have left in the tank here. As Hilton Jones gets tied up with Rafael Antoslaski. Desperation time now for the Mayhem. Not all ties are created equal. Sioux Falls would love to get out of here with a tie, and it looks like that's what they're going to be able to do. As Gabriel Quiros sends it in, expecting that final whistle to blow any moment here. It's taken away by Sioux Falls momentarily. Idapolos ahead to Hilton Jones. And a whistle against Sioux Falls. So a free kick from Neto. Maybe a chance for a walk-off here. Plaza up at midfield. He wants to, but gotta believe this is it for Med City. One last chance. Here it comes from Neto. Sending it in, everyone charging in. That's over the crossbar again. Second time tonight, Neto's had a free kick like that, and it's just been a little bit high. Of course, he sends in lasers. That thing was moving. And Sioux Falls comes back the other way. I expected to hear the whistle after that kick. We never did hear how much stoppage time is being added. And now a shot pulled in by Plaza. And there's the final whistle. So good save by Plaza to keep this as a tie. But a disappointing finish for Med City. They remain unbeaten on the season, but their record changes to 5-0-3. They will pick up 1 point. But you got to believe Duluth and Minneapolis City will be happy to see this result. Here tonight, your final Med City 2, Sioux Falls 2. Stick around. We'll have a post-game interview with head coach Neil Cassidy. You're watching the Med City FC Football Club. certainly okay skipping it, but that's not my call. All right, welcome back here to the Rochester Regional Stadium. A 2-2 final here tonight between Med City and Sioux Falls. I'm joined now by head coach Neil Cassidy, and I know, Coach, not the result you were looking for tonight, but what are some takeaways that you get out of this one tonight?
It's a tough one. I guess we did step it up after the half time. We kind of created a lot more chances than we did in the first half, but we got to put them away. There's no ifs, ands or buts, and that's what I told the guys at the end. We can create chances all day. They need 2 chances, they score 2 goals. We create 15, 20, and we score 1, or 2. So yeah, it's we're creating the chances. We just need to put them away.
And at least you come away with 1 point tonight. You were down for a period during this game, and so are you at least have some takeaways with the battle back that your team showed in that second half?
No, the expectations are so high with this team and this group that a draw is a disappointment. So we've just made life more difficult for us now, and to get in the top 2. And the new goal is win every game.
And it is a top-heavy division, as you mentioned, between Duluth and then Minneapolis City nipping at your heels. Duluth is going to be here next Saturday night, and so talk about the preparation that you have now in front of you this week.
Yeah, I also told the guys, we're disappointed, but you've got to leave that on the field. As soon as you step off, we're preparing now for next week. So we can't take any of this into training, and we're going to make sure that we get after it in training, get the intensity that we need to and that we showed in the first half of the season, and get back to what works. And we'll get ready and we'll be prepared for Saturday.
All right, Coach. Well, I appreciate you joining us here for the post-game interview. We're going to go inside now and dry off a little bit, but we'll see you next week along with Duluth when they come to town. That kickoff is at 7 o'clock. Thank you again for watching our broadcast of Med City Football.